Welcome, welcome, welcome. The first day of our live stream. Today, we're going to talk about the prosperous opportunities we have with AI and how the world is changing. How we can build an army of AI agents and develop an agentic workforce. So, we developed a platform with an army of 60 plus agents, and I'm going to be doing a live stream with you every single day for the next 100 days, documenting what's taking place. We're going to get the hang of it. We're just keeping it moving. Literally, as I was saying, AI news, AI is changing. Claude Fables, which was released a few weeks ago, was actually paused by the United States of government, right? That just shows you how powerful AI is actually becoming, right? A powerful form. So if the United States government said it was a threat to national security, this tells you that in the day of AI, AI is making major ropes. And the difference between the existing Claude model, right, is like 30 to 40% improvement in performance, right? So it's really important to understand, right? AI is moving at a rapid speed of technology and growth. So this platform, we've been working on it in the last, like I would say, last 3 to 4 months, relentlessly, almost doing like 12 to 18 hours, right, of labor, like relentless research, programming with the power of Claude and assistance, right, and a framework. We've been able to overcome magnificent challenges. So we came to the decision that we want to broadcast live what we're actually doing on a daily basis. So also you see that the clients that we work with, how we're deploying some of our agents into their business and creating an agentic workforce for them, which is so imperative for you to understand at this given amount of time. When I understood the power of this, I thought, let me jump on this. And still, it's at a very early stage. Just like when the internet was beginning, we're at the beginning stages of AI and the agentic workflow. I think it's been no more than a few years since ChatGPT was released to the general public, just as a chatbot question answer feature. But now AI has gone and evolved much more than that. And we're just at the early rise of dawn. So all those businesses who adapt their process of implementing AI agents into their business are going to have a significant who's advantage, a massive advantage, right, going forward. There was the head of AI, the head of Claude. Was it like was it a year ago or a year and a half ago? They were looking for the first company who break the $1 billion barrier, right? That means one person doing $1 billion in potential revenue a year. And already, two brothers, I would say one brother started a company, I think it's called Mediv. This is what we want the world to take notice. And this is the whole idea of this platform. This is the whole idea of this platform. Right? Claude is just working some technical difficulties for me, which I'm having. So while it's doing that, I'm just having a five-a-side chat with you guys. So let's just hold that. I was supposed to put my streaming key back into OBS, but we hit a technical difficulty, right? So we're just streaming live on YouTube at the moment. Hope that works. So this is where we are at in the current present stage of AI, right? It's an awesome time to be alive, right? Literally, especially in the age of AI. Let me close this out. So Now, let me just share my screen. Yeah, so basically, this is an agentic workforce that we built ourselves, right? Our army of AI agents, right? We deploying, literally, we're deploying. So let me just walk you through our platform, right? The goal is to build agentic workforce, not just automations, but agents that work in cohesive together, right? So we want to create no noise, but build a solid, powerful infrastructure for small and local businesses that they can implement in their business, right? And here are some of the agents that we have at the moment, which we're deploying in a workforce, right? And we're continually building, right, and optimizing these agents. Always, we're optimizing agents, we're continually building. So let me just go into our dashboard, all right? Bear with me. Let me just go into our dashboard. So as I'm just prepared, right? I'm just going to show you literally some of the stuff that we've been working on. Literally, right? Like I said, this is our command center. Yeah, this is a command center. In our command center, I want to show you a string of agents that we have working 24/7, right? If I go to a monitor, these are some of the agents, a swamp of agents that we have working right now. Walk you through. Right now, we've got what we're working on. We've got a sales intelligence agent, right? Actually, it just paused. It just paused. But then we have our 48-hour YouTube launch manager. When we do content, we've got a 48-hour process where we've got a marketing strategy that goes and distributes content, breaks up one piece of content and puts it into 40 plus pieces. So that's working now. We've got a live strip agent producer, right? Which is was working on the sales funnel. So was working on sales scripts to close parts of some products and services for one offer that we're working on. So that was a client, that was the agent which is working, right? We've got our YouTube script producer agent working, right? For when we produce YouTube scripts for ourselves and for clients, right? Are based around content and products, right? They want to promote because we're living in a time now where visibility is currency. Visibility is key, right? We've got AI documenter, what does research on specific things. We've got our ideal work board, right? It's an agent where we map our ideas and we just discuss it amongst the team. Even though I'm going to share some of them today with you. We've got our YouTube content generator. It just goes out amongst the net and helps us generate ideas in specific niches to create content. We've got our agent scorecard, actually working, just please the contact that basically every week we got a scorecard of activities that we actually need to do and keep track of our objectives for that week. That agent's working. We've got a visual design agent, right? Sometimes design some visuals for us. We've got our meta ads, right? Copilot, right? Helps us generate leads, develops the ad structures, looks over the Facebook campaigns, etc. Some of our clients, we have to build content on courses. That agent is working. We've got a cold outreach automation agent working. We've got our Loom. Sometimes we send Loom videos, the agent's working. So this is just a roster of us, other agents, right? We're still to put into existence, but this is just a roster of agents actually actively working, right? So this is our coordination officer, coordinate our CEO, our chief executive officer, tells me what actually tasks what need to be done today. Let me just ask what tasks need to be done today. Right, I'm going to break down the CEO, right? The COO, Chief Operations Officer. It liaises with all the agents, right? Literally, it's like having a key person, right, within your company, but with the army of agents. Just imagine it starts liaising and talking, right, and tells us what to do, and the agents start communicating with them, right? Today's tasks, based on your list, right, is based on the business playbook. I'm going to show you about the business playbook, how that works and operates, right? So based on the business playbook, what we need to execute today. Priority number 1, revenue generation, discovery calls, run outbound sequence, right? A video appointment setter, that's another agent with an outbound to qualified leads, follow up prospective proposals. Any calls from the last 48 hours need to be immediately followed up. Imagine agents are doing all this, right? Check the pipeline of health, right? Review go high level for stuck leads, right? Review the revenue metrics coordinator agent, right? Priorities, number 2, content and visibility, like I was saying. Post on Instagram, paste one pain point, one carousel using the content engine agent. The LinkedIn post authority, right? Assign one insight, one case study for the LinkedIn authority agent that agent goes into work. Engage in 2 or 3 communities. Listen, right? This is another agent I'm going to show you, part of an agent roster of 60 plus AI agents, right? Working, right? Priorities, right? Priority number 3. Every day we have 3 priorities that we need to address. What the COO, Chief Operating Officer, right? Agent manages across a portfolio of companies or one existing company, like for ourselves. Specifically, this is for my company, Supreme X, right? Operating today, right? Review any active tasks on board, check activity, the weekly scorecard which we saw that agent operating, updating daily metrics, check yesterday's logs, check the booking, sharp rate and tracking, right? Simultaneously check messages, inbox for Slack or DMs for the last 48 hours. And for a quick win, record one Loom video walkthrough, right? Audit at competitors' ads and create inspiration and plan tomorrow's insights. Literally, we got some leads coming through one of the markets that we're working with, which is dental clinics and ad spas, some of our own internal offers. So literally, I have to follow up those leads, send them a Loom video, which is telling me, and literally, yeah, the next steps of action. So every morning I come in to the office, right? I liaise with my chief operating officer agent. I want you to understand this, right? And it gives me a diagnosis of what actually needs to happen for the day, right? So let's go and see, right? In this side part, right, it's actually telling me, right, these are agents which I need to activate and put to work, right? So the appointed, let's just run through this, right? So launch a lead reactivation campaign, right? Right, I need to let that agent kick into action, book 3 discovery calls, right? I need to activate the action, create and publish high performing content. So these are what I need to put to work, right? Mission, weekly leads, right? Reminders is telling me, right? Everything what's happening, right? So now if I open the missions, right? Let me open up our missions, right? The missions is where we set missions, right? So this is really powerful, right? Sometimes we have, before I go into that, right, it's important for you to understand. Let me go into our agents, right? We've got a stack roster of agents, right? But missions is where each, rather than an agent working in isolation, we group agents together and create daily missions, daily routines, right? So let me just show you an example. Mission control. This is the mission control. I can liaise with the mission control, ask it question, right? This is my mission control manager, right? What's actually taking place today, right? Let me, can we set up some missions? Today, right? So I'm liaising literally, right? I'm liaising like I'm speaking to human beings, right? This is mission control. So we got the agents and then we're saying, all right, what missions we can set up today? Absolutely, right? Let's get the missions live today, right? First of all, what's immediate business priorities facing right now? More booked calls, content creation to scale, lead reactivation to reactivate database from our system campaigns, ad campaigns running, right? Sales performance improvisation, 2, right? What assets and data I already have? YouTube videos. So this is how I liaise, right? Literally, right? Now you can see, right, how the agents are working together, right? I got my chief operating officer agent, right? And if you was on the platform, the same would happen to you. You have a chief operating officer who understands, right, your business playbook. But before, I've kind of like jumped in deep into this, right? I'm going to give you an understanding. So I'm going to come back to that. But now this is where we group a group of missions working together, right? A group of agents working together. But let me just exit this for a second, right? And I'm going to go into the business playbook, right? Because the business playbook is where, right, we develop our industry standard playbook, right? This is another ethos, right? Because like agents, right? Agents need to have a brain. They need to coerce and work together, right? So in our platform, we develop a playbook for every business that we work with. So we have an overview. We have the IPC for the business, right? The demographic, who we're targeting, right? The psychodemics, the pain points, the goals, right? The buy-in triggers. We have the sales process, right? The booking process, the discovery framework, the closing style, the follow-up sequence. We have ads and hooks when we're developing campaign for that specific business. We have objections, right? How we handle objections in that business. We have operational SOPs, how we operate as a company, as a playbook, right? And then we have a knowledge book bank, right? Where we upload company documents, company assets, company artifacts, right? So this is so important because every single agent, right, before they do their daily task, they operate from this playbook, right? So that's why I said it's not an agent operating independently. So let me go back into our agent employee, right? So here's a database of some of the agents that we have, right? I'm just going to show you an example, right? What we have to do. So these agents can operate independently, but they're not sufficient, right? So what we do, like I'm going to go to a example. Let me go to look, we've got our Google Maps lead gen agent. We have to turn the novel of the agent on. Once we turn it on, playbook injected enabled. This AI agent now understands the context in which they're working and understands the playbook, right? So this is so important, right? So this is a new agent I developed, a lost revenue calculator agent. What I'm going to do from time to time, I'm going to go to the individual agents and give you a breakdown what they do. And also you're going to see me developing them, maintaining the platform, right? So this agent, I just developed it, right? This agent is what we use when we're on sales calls to close clients, right? So I'm going to turn the agent on so it can have knowledge about our playbook, our company, and what we do. So that's why I said we're in an awesome time, what we're living in. So when the agent is turned on, now it can activate that playbook. It's not working independent of itself, right? So now let me get up my swamp, right? So sometimes you might see me coding issues, right? Developing a platform, developing new agents, right? This is where I use our AI agent, right? Coding agent, right? We've got six different coding agents, right? One is our project manager. One is our test response. One is our back-end developer. One is our bug fixer. And one is our ready tester. And one tests the code for stability and a lot of other factors. So let me just check, right? Now, are there any issues on form? Oh, I'm just leaving. All right. Yeah, so are they on any platform, right? So, and it goes out and checks, right? So literally, right, this was just an eye opener, right? And I just wanted to show you a demonstration of the platform, what it does, and how we're going to be operating. So over the next 100 days, you're going to be seeing me live stream and demonstrate the platform, its capacity, the agents, what it does. So I want to thank you all for this live stream. I'm going to bring it to a close, but this was just to ignite and show you the capabilities of a platform and what we're going to be doing in the next over 100 years. 100 days, shall I say. It's been an honor, and I look forward to seeing the next live stream.